Welcome back, students. We were discussing about the critical path in the previous session, and we understood like critical path is the longest possible path within the network diagram, and which will going to tell us like this is the project duration required. But I also submitted few examples to you. You can look at it. These are the three examples I tried to. I requested to check it out if you can draw them, and I have given them the durations also. I hope you have already done. This is for the benefit of understanding like whether you have gone through that particular example properly or not. To get acquainted with that, I have another example with me. Look at this example. I have example with A to I activities and predecessors respectively. You can look at it. There are set of predecessors for B and C. A D it doesn't have. How to go about it? Again for F I have a three predecessors. How exactly we can draw for that? Bit complex diagram I need to draw. Yeah, definitely I never mentioned here the duration for it. Now let us try to draw this example. Okay, a network diagram will be drawn for it as a normal procedure. I'll start with A. To draw A, I have already drawn the first point, that is node 1. Along with that, I'll try to draw the arrow mark to tell like this is activity A. So activity A will close at node 2. Now from A, look at it. If I complete A, then I can draw B. I'll try to draw activity B for me. I'm drawing it a bit vertically up because there is another activity called as a C is also there. So I'll try to do that. So I've tried to do two activities from A. You can look at it. Predecessors for B and C both are A. So I'll try to call them as B and C. Now once I draw that, now I'm just looking at, yeah, I need another activity is also trying with a D, which is also doesn't have any predecessors. How will you do that? Will it start? Where it will go to start? So for your information, like A, this is also going to start from A. I mean 1. Okay, so call this as D. Okay, call this as a D. Now look at it. From D, I'm going to draw E. Am I right? Look at it. This is a D is a predecessors for E. So I'll try to draw, number them properly. Okay, I forgot to number them. I'll just try to follow the 1, 2. Then this is 3. Call this as 4. Sorry. Call this as 4. I numbered D as 1 to 5. Now we should go further with that. Now look at it. D, from D it will going to go for E. I'll try to draw E for here. I'll try to draw E from here. Call it as E. Yes, it is drawn like this. Now look at next one. F is from B, C and E. E is here, B is over here, C is over here. They all will going to proceed to activity called as F. Now, if at all I can do a small change over here, look at it. I'll change it. I'll connect this over here so that this is going to be activity. Now, you can see from C and E, I can go further with the F. I'll try to draw F. Look at it. I'll go with the F. No doubt in that. But what about from B? Can I bend this? No, it is not allowed as per the standards of the network diagram. I'm not allowed to bend it. So what we'll do here? So there comes a dummy node has to come. That's what we were talking about. From 3 to 4, I'm going to draw a dummy node. Now look at it. B is drawn back towards F. I call it as a dummy 1. This will not going to have any duration or cost, any resource. So this is for only for completion and the standards of the diagram. So this is going to be first of all it. In your experience, the dummy node is introduced over here. From here, look at it. After F, it is G. Yeah, I can draw it over here. I've drawn G. Number that as maybe 7. From D, I need to draw H. Yeah, I'll draw H here. Call it as H. Now look at it. From G and H, I need to get I. G and H. So what we'll do here is G and H. So G need to be, H need to be connected over here. And from here, I'm going to draw an I. I'm going to draw I. So look at it. We are drawn each and everything from activity A to activity I with all the predecessors. Look at it. B predecessor is A. C predecessor is A. D doesn't have any predecessor. E predecessor is a D. F is a predecessor with E, C and B with a dummy node. G is preceded with a F, and H, its predecessor is a D, and look at I, this is having predecessor G and H. So this is a complete, this is a 1 is a start, 8 is a end. I think we need to go ahead with such kind of examples. I try to draw the example 1. Now example 2, I'll not redraw it, I already drawn for you people. Okay, look at that. A, B, C starts from no predecessor, so it will start from 1. D have a predecessor A. E is having predecessor B, as well as F is also having predecessor A. This is a burst case. Then G is having predecessor C. This is a join case. This is a merge case. Okay, from E it goes to I. H, its predecessor is D. J is predecessor of I and H, and K have a predecessor of F and G. Likewise, we need to draw and we need to give duration if at all is mentioned along with the activity names. This is how we are going to draw. I am going to send few more exercises for practice purpose. I have sent these 3 exercises. I try to show the solution of 1 and 2. We need to proceed with the next session. Okay, so next session is talking about, we need to understand there is something called as the Pert and CPM, critical path method, product evaluation and review technique. Let us understand the difference between them. Project evaluation and review technique, basically we are going to talk about the duration part of it, which doesn't speak about cost at all. It doesn't speak about cost at all. Whereas critical path talks about duration, schedule and cost minimization. It basically talks about cost minimization. CPM, critical path method, deterministic model, okay, which is most of the time it is used on, the past experience. Okay, and this is used basically where the construction projects will be there, business projects will come into picture. Okay, all those areas CPM will be used, whereas PERT will be used where I'm not going to talk about anything cost. Yes, but if at all I'm going to have a duration part of it, I'm going to compute it, probabilistic account of it, deterministic account of it in terms of duration, and I'm going to apply that for the planning and scheduling of a research project. So basically there are 3 differences I have noted there. It is basically for the research projects, whereas CPM will be used for the projects called as a construction and business problems. Okay, and PERT doesn't speak about cost into consideration, where CPM talks about cost and the schedules minimization problem. So to do this, we need to have many terminologies. Further, we need to discuss about few of them. Very first one is a float. Before understanding the float, I need to understand there is something called as a forward pass and backward pass. There are two words will come into picture. One is forward pass and one is backward pass. What do you mean by backward pass or the forward pass? Now look at it. One particular diagram over here, one of the exercise. Okay, just now we have solved this particular example where if at all I'm going to talk about forward pass, look at it, the path, it goes from A to B, B to F, F to G, G to I. Another path is A to C, C to F, F to G, G to I. Third path probably D to E, E to F, F to G, G to I. And the last possible path is D to H, H to I. Okay, these are all forward passes. So I'm going to start from 1. I'll try to reach 8. Whereas backward pass is exactly reverse of it. I'll try to go back from I till A or I till D in a reverse pattern. Exactly, I'm going to reverse those arrow marks and I'll try to reach back. This is a two paths. By definition, we call it as estimations of the early start. I'm talking about forward pass. Forward pass is equivalent to estimates of early starts and earliest finish. Early start and earliest finish. Whereas backward pass is a calculation of late finish and late start. Late finish and the late start. These both are required in the calculation. Both are required in the calculation. As I said, we need to understand there are few terminologies. One is a float, one is total float. Float is basically the terminology. Within that there are many types of floats will come into picture. This is duration calculation or the cost calculation between maximum and the minimum in simple. So we have lots of activities where maximum time available and to finish an activity, minimum time available to finish the activity. We need to find the difference between these two. This is what we call it as a float. Float is basically the arrears between these two. Arrears between the gap between these two. You can look at the total float below that. It's called as the LF and EF. LF is latest finish and early finish, which we're going to talk about the spare time available between the preceding activities and the earliest possible time. Okay, of all the succeeding activities, you're going to give me the total float. How much total float will be available? So if it is going to be calculated, then I need 4 things need to be calculated over here. Earliest start, earliest finish, latest start and latest finish. I repeat, we are going to have 4 things over here. Earliest start, earliest finish, latest start and latest finish. Okay, we need to calculate this. I repeat again, earliest start, which talks about maximum time duration, maximum time duration of previous activities, whereas earliest finish is very simple. It is ES plus normal time. The time duration which is given as normal time. Whereas then we calculate latest finish. Latest finish is maximum time duration of all its previous events. Okay, it is a maximum time duration. Maximum, I'll just copy it out. Maximum time duration of its previous all events in the backward pass, but it is in the backward pass. So this is how exactly it will go to be calculated. Then what is LS? LS is again LF minus normal time. If we can calculate these 4, then it is very simple to find out what do you mean by the critical path. As I said in the previous session, we're not going to have only 2 to 3 directions in the network diagram. We are going to have n number of directions. So out of that, I need to find out what is the critical path of the project. Okay, so we need to have lots of discussions with this particular module we are going to learn these ES, EF, LS and LF once again in the next session. Till then, please enjoy this particular video. Please revisit this particular video and learn this and come back for my next session. Thank you for watching this. Thank you very much.